What up, world?
Yo, yo, yo.
What up, gang?
What's good, educated fam?
I was about to say, we got to give our viewers a nickname or something like that.
The educated fam?
Yeah, let's call it. Yeah. I like that.
Why can't they be scholars?
I mean, ooh.
That's a good one.
Ooh, look at that. Coming through, dropping gems on the first time here.
New name alert. I like that. I like that.
Yo, so shout out to all the scholars out there.
Oh,
You feel me?
I like that.
Yo, look
Fire
at that.
in the
Look
booth.
at that. Y'all already know it's your boy, Dante.
It's your boy, Juggernaut.
My boy played Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom, before we got on this show. Anybody that plays Marvel vs. Capcom, this is a cheating ass nigga right here.
Bro, I've been doing this
3 juggernauts
for
at
decades.
the same time?
For decades.
That's
what I do.
He's a cheater.
And all I do is produce dubs.
He's a cheater. Anyway, enough about us, bruh. We got a couple guests on the show today. A couple of actually favored guests by myself and Sean. We'll talk more about that in a second. But I'm gonna let them do their introduction. You know, we don't want to over talk anybody, so we'll start to my left. If she don't want to do it, I'll do it. I don't.
Hi, I'm Finn.
What up, fam? What up, fam?
I'm Grace.
No. This Big Pooh. Y'all heard about Big Pooh? We done talked about Big Pooh in numerous episodes. This Big Pooh right here.
Big Pooh to the right.
Big Pooh.
That's Thanos to the left. We done name dropped. Gave y'all
yeah,
a little bit of
Thanos.
little bit of insight. Didn't want to name drop, but we got Fen and Grace with us on the show today. These are our loved ones, our very cherished loved ones.
Yep.
Fen is mine, and Grace is with your boy Sean.
Welcome to the Educated Couples Podcast.
Look at that. 2 different names in the same daggone episode.
Yes,
I love to
sir.
see it. I love to see it. But yes, we got our loved ones on the show with us today for a lot of different reasons, but because we want to show some diversity. But y'all know how we do here. We do what we want, how we want, why we want, because we can.
Whenever the fuck we want to.
Because we can.
Yes, sir.
So we invited them on the show today because there's some topics that today, you know how organically we do, but we just want to talk about some things revolving around individuals, whether they be partnerships, friendships, things of that nature. We're going to touch on some topics about our own selves, but we're not going to leave for y'all with too much because a brother likes the bed and I don't want to sleep on no couch. So,
I mean, my couch comfortable. So.
I mean, speak for yourself. I mean, the couch's pretty comfortable, but the bed is way more comfortable, especially if she in it. You feel me?
Nah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Big Pooh's a cover hog, so she be taking the cover from me. I don't like that.
Yo, bro,
so.
son. I be getting that little spoon treatment sometimes, son.
And
You ever get the little spoon treatment,
but
son?
here's the thing, y'all peep the
I'm too
size
small.
difference. I was about to say, y'all peep the size difference, and I'm big, but I like being a little.
That's gonna
spoon.
be like one of them sugar spoons you put in the coffee.
I like being a little spoon. She'll be trying to do that shit like you're too big.
No, I mean,
At that point, she's just like a backpack. She's like,
Exactly.
So what? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I mean,
And backpacks,
Jan,
educated,
call you Jan
scholars.
Sport. You know what I'm saying? You keeping it all in
Keeping it
there.
loose. I like that.
But yeah. So like D said, we wanted to speak on our current relationships, relationships in general, how certain things that everyone deals with in our generation in society today, just to see how everybody is thinking, where people's mindsets are at.
Yeah. But before we do that, if y'all want to drop y'all
Yeah.
y'all IGs, if you want to, you do not have to. Because this is our show and we do what we want. So if y'all don't want to, y'all can tell us, like, nah, we straight.
You can drop your IG, your MySpace, your
MySpace, bro.
Black Planet
I'm
profile.
not that old.
I was about to see the craziest part. You set it up. I wasn't going to say nothing, bro. Because I know where I'm at when
She's
it
still
comes.
trying to come at me with this age shit.
You're 40.
First of all, that's not funny.
thank you.
Wow.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson,
Exactly.
old man?
So, y'all, what we going to do for today, shout out to Marv with that wonderful drop, because that was perfect.
That was perfect, yeah.
What we going to do for today, y'all going to just get a little bit of insight into, some of the things that we talk about, some of the things that, couples might even go through. We touched, kind of briefly on some other couples who be wilding out here in these streets, but that's not going to happen here.
Woo.
At least not on camera.
If I
you know what
told
I'm
y'all,
saying?
if I told y'all me and Pooh relationship is just like Blueface.
No, like not even.
But it's the other way around.
No, bro, you gotta understand how funny this is because Fen was literally saying that. She's like, yo, when we go up there, I'm gonna just ask Grace, like, do you be beating on Sean?
The answer is yes.
No.
Nah, we don't joke about DV. We don't joke about the DV, but we like y'all know how we do.
Word.
Yeah,
Word.
talk-
No law and order.
Nah, but yeah, she be hitting me.
Just blink twice into the camera.
So with all that being said, we do want to do some check-ins, see how everybody doing. I don't like to just say like, "Hey, I'm doing this way." So let's go to the left. Fan, how you feeling today? How's everything?
Good.
Feeling good? Feeling great?
Yeah.
Good, cool. Grace, how you feeling?
Good, good.
Good.
Just good?
Just good.
No, that's it? Nothing
Yeah,
else?
that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
I mean, y'all know me and Sean, we just be going in. So I mean, I tell y'all how I'm doing. I'm doing good.
Mm-hmm.
We was actually talking about this earlier.
We were.
There was another segment that we was going to jump into, but I'm kind of just going to like throw it out there because I want to. You ever have like those moments where you feel like you're not doing enough, but you doing mad stuff?
All the time.
Bro, I literally had one of those moments last week. But shout out to Fen, because when you got a real one in your corner, it's easy to be like, oh yeah, yo, I am doing mad. Like, yo, bro, I got 5 shows,
Okay.
5 acting shows that I'm in. I'm doing this.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
I got a promotion at my job, learning how to get better at that.
Oh, before you clap it up for that. That's
Thank you.
We're not gonna skip past that. We're not gonna skip past that. That's some good news.
Y'all know I'm a very humble individual.
Not me.
But what it ultimately boils down to is sometimes, you know, you feel like there's not enough going on in your life. You feel like you got to do more and things like that. But when you got a person in your life that's like, nah, baby, like you got to look at what's right in front of you. Bro, like I said, I got shows, I got this, I got the job, and then on top of that, a 24/7 job is keeping my woman happy, bro. Like that's not even like no funny stuff. Everybody that wants to keep their woman happy knows exactly what I mean. Those of y'all that are like, yo, bro, oh man, she need to make sure I'm happy. I ain't talking to you because clearly we are on 2 different wavelengths. But when it comes, what it boils down to is, honestly, I'm doing good, but I be having my moments of that fluctuation stuff, which is great that we're having this conversation today because having that person in your corner that understands like, yo, you really are being mad hard on yourself, because that's what I tend to do. When you got somebody that's like, nah, like bring it back, like see the bigger picture, it's like, oh, I appreciate the hell out of you.
Oh.
I appreciate you so much. You know that? You know that? That thug tear, that one tear, son. But that's how I'm doing. I'm doing overall good, but I have my highs and my lows. But today, we up here, baby.
That's what's up.
We up here, baby.
So
We on the
that's
high.
what's up.
We on the high, baby.
Fire the move. But nah, I do feel you. I've told Pooh right here plenty of times that I've never experienced the type of love that she gives me. And yeah, welcome to the Soft Brothers podcast.
Welcome to the Soft Brothers
Welcome to the Soft Brothers
podcast.
podcast.
Get the violins ready.
And I know often she thinks I'm bullshitting her, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I've never experienced this type of love, and I wake up every day thinking like, how the fuck am I this lucky? I truly feel that way. And she took me to the Philippines.
Honestly, to this day, I'm always going to shout out Marv. He always knows when to play the right stuff, son.
I just realized what he was playing. God damn you, Mark.
Always going to shout out Marv. That's the homie forever, bro. That's the homie right there, man.
I have a question.
What's up?
Grace, how does it feel like when he tells you that? Because I want to know if you feel like the way I feel.
I mean, it's nice.
Yeah, but it feels like it's kind of like,
Thank you.
yeah, right?
No.
What do you mean by like, oh, he lying?
No, it's
That's what
not
you
like
feel?
lies, but I asked Grace the question.
Answer it.
And Grace answered.
I would like to hear a detailed answer.
Gay? No, I'm just kidding.
Like, that's the details.
Nah, that's some shit she would do. But I'm listening.
But I mean, it feels. I mean, what was the question?
How does it feel like to hear him say that to you?
I mean, it feels nice. Like, I appreciate it.
Because when Dante says it to me, it's almost like unreal. It's like, like it
You don't
sounds
believe
good.
him?
Yeah, like it sounds good, right? But the action is what makes it
Right.
feels better.
Okay.
No,
it's-
I believe
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Nah.
So you believe when I say it?
Yeah.
Do you feel like I act on what I'm saying?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. That's real. I appreciate that.
We could
Perfect.
always appreciate the real on here.
We could always do better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, Fen knows this very well. I am one to tell you if I'm wrong, I am wrong. There's a particular word that I'm not allowed to say anymore. Because if I say it, I got to do one of these. People like, yo, why would you do that? Because you know what word
He will
what
die
phrase
on
I
that
like
hill.
to say, bro?
What?
I don't care what he's talking about.
I'm sorry. That's like my go-to phrase.
Uh-huh.
Like when I mess up. But then she broke it down one time. She was like, wait, are you sorry or you apologize? And I was like, no, I mean, what's the difference? She's like, because if you're saying you sorry, that means that you are sorry, and I don't deal with somebody who's sorry. I was like, oh, damn.
She said she don't deal with sorry brothers.
And when she said that, I was like, oh, but see, my mentality was, you know, like when you make a mistake or you mess something up, in my mind, you should be saying, I'm sorry. But what we talk about is, it's not about the I'm sorry. It's about, if you're going to apologize, say those exact words. I apologize for blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
And then...
With no buts.
Because it shouldn't be something where, and again, I'm learning this now because, you know, we talked about this on the past episodes about bad relationships versus great ones. We was also talking about a show that we're going to talk about a little bit later on, but I was even telling Fen, and she probably still to this day be like, oh boy, here you go. Bruh, like the word love like means a lot to me, and I thought I meant that joint before until I got here, and it was like, bruh, nah, now I mean it, son. Because like this is what in my mind it was supposed to be. Not because she coddles me, she doesn't. I'm not always right, bruh.
Bruh.
If we could put a camera, and we could put a camera, and where we stay, it don't be nothing crazy. It's just that we always be joking with each other. So like,
that show about to come on Zeus.
yo, son. First of all, don't let her fool you. She was like, oh, I'm nervous. I don't want to do all this. If we got a show on Zeus, bro, y'all would tune in. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Not because of Blueface and what they be doing.
I was gonna say,
We
wait a
just be
minute.
having fun in the way where it's like, let's say for example, I come home from work.
Okay.
We have this phrase where it's like, you seen the dude where he's like the fuck around chart.
Yeah.
We use that.
Oh.
So
fire.
like, if she come home from work and I get off work, because I work from home sometimes. So like, so if I'm done with work, whatever, close my laptop, she come through the door. I'm chilling because I'm home already, so I'm good. She come in the house after her day and I'm like, babe, what's up? How you doing? How was your day? She's like, yo, your fuck around is like,
No.
whoops.
Because
My
like the
bad.
same way how close he was to this mic doing that is how close he is to my face. And it's just like,
I can imagine him doing some shit like that. Like, yo, back up. Dog.
right, like, yo.
Yo, but you
had
know
a
me,
9,
bro.
I'm at a 2, like.
Yo, you know me,
Me in the
bro. When
middle.
I'm excited, I can't hide the
I
excitement.
get it.
So it's one of those like, perfect example when we see Marv with his dog, right?
Yeah.
Dog's wagging the tail and everything, bro. She come through that dog like, hey babe, what's going on? But it's because I'm happy to see her. Like I've never genuinely felt that before. Where
That's
it's
what's
like,
up.
yo, she walked through the door and I'm instantly like, hey babe. I've never been like that
That's what's
with
up.
my parents, with my family. It's like they'll come and what up? Show them some love, whatever the case is. She walked through that door, bruh. What we doing? We doing something tonight? She's like, yo, relax. My bad, I'm excited.
That's what's up. I be in my moments too, and I think that, like she said, some of the moments that I have don't really show or match what I'm saying. Because my thing is, when I come home, especially with my job, I work a very, very stressful job. Most of the time, I want to come home and unwind and just unravel. I'll give her a hug and a kiss, but I'm not as like giddy when I come home because I'm the type of person, if I'm dealing with something, I don't like to put it on somebody else.
Felt.
I used to do that constantly, and it's not healthy to do that. So I want to come home, I want to unwind, I want to sit down a little bit. I want to process the crazy shit that I just went through at work.
And then, yeah.
And then after about like an hour or 2 hours, or I play a game of Madden, like, hey, babe, come here. But she don't be with that shit. Like, you should have did that when you walked in there.
See? But this is actually...
Okay,
but,
so
go
we're
ahead.
the same
Yeah.
because I'm the same. Like I have a very high stressful job and I'm always on 10. I got to think about 6 different doctors and what they need and what they want and patients asking a million questions. So the last thing I want to do all damn talking and the last thing I want to do is come home and talk because no, like not it's not that I don't love him. It's not that I don't want to see him. Of course, like soon as I pull in, I'm like, oh my god, he's in the house. But like
you listening?
But it's like in my mind, it's like, yeah, he's here and I love that he's here. Like when I see him, I love that his presence is there because immediately it calms me. But at that same time, I still need to turn off my work self because my work self and my personal life are 2 different people. And I hate to combine the 2. So if I'm coming home and he's in my face and I'm like, you gotta back up. I need like 5 minutes. I need like a few minutes because I'll get snappy and I don't like that I do that. But I do need some time to like get work off me.
And that's why I'm trying to tell her, like when I'm just playing Madden and she behind me, I like that. That keeps me from cursing the computer out because you know the computer be
Oh,
cheating.
bro, they be fucking cheating.
Cheating, bro.
Everybody who play video games know that the computer be
They be
cheating, bro. Y'all know that.
They be cheating. And just her being there, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to overreact. She behind me. She going to think I'm a lunatic. But when she not there and I'm playing, they be cheating.
Oh, son.
Yeah, it's wild.
I'm about to break that controller.
No, but then in retrospect, we also have conversations. So she knows that there's sometimes where I come in that, like, because she'll pick me up from the train, right?
Mm-hmm.
I work in New York, so she'll pick me up from the train. I get in the car, and she'll see it in my face. She knows, like, oh, today was one of them days. I'll ask him later, like, because I have my moments where I'm really like, giddy and things like that. But then there's moments where it's like, nah, you can see it in my face. Like, I can't hide it that I had like a rough day for multitude of reasons or
I mean,
whatever
you
it
work
is.
in New York with the rats.
Yo, first of all, I say this to everybody, and I hope our viewers, Marv, do me a favor, like zoom in. Can you zoom in on my face if you can?
That's creepy.
Well, those of our viewers that are from DC, don't you dare ever fix your face to say that New York is dirty, because I went to DC,
You took the subway out there?
bruh. No.
First of all, the subway is very clean.
And the
DC?
subway might be very
Yeah.
clean, but bruh, the rats in DC, at least downtown area, bruh, at least in New York, they come out of the garbage. They come out of something where there's a reason why they should be there. DC rats walk the streets like they got a briefcase and a suit, bruh. Bruh, I was out there. Rats was either running around corners or burrowing in the dirt because it was too cold outside. So anybody from DC, shout out to y'all. I love my peoples, especially that's out there. But y'all know how DC get down.
DC Metro rats.
Listen.
That's
but
wild.
I just
I
wanted to
wouldn't
get
say
that little
that.
interjection real quick. But no,
Why,
like,
did that hurt you a bit?
Yeah, because I told him too. I was like,
She
I
don't-
don't think that. First of all, New York City is filthy.
not as bad as DC.
Lies, because DC's not. dirty.
And if you
It
look
just
it up
has
on
rats,
Google,
and I feel
if
like
you
every
look,
city has rats.
if you look it up on Google,
Every city doesn't have rats.
surprisingly, New York is actually not the dirtiest city.
Nah,
It's
that,
number 4.
oh,
Look
that
it up.
list is a lie.
Look it up. Look it up.
Guess
It's
what?
Look it
top.
up.
It's
It
definitely
goes
top
by-
three.
They
it
had
goes-
they had
it's
Newark at
definitely-
number 2.
Thank you. So I already know that was wild.
Hold up. So y'all don't think Newark belong on there?
All
You
I'm,
don't-
all
number
I'm saying
2?
is this. I'm not
Bruh,
gonna believe
I-
anything that social media is
Bruh.
putting
Ain't
up
got
there
nothing-
because guess
ain't
what?
nothing
They
to do
don't
with social
live
media.
here, and I know that New York City is way dirtier.
How? You don't live
than-
there.
What?
You don't live there.
Ask somebody
At
from
the end
North
of the day,
Carolina
I
who live there.
travel there, right?
Uh-huh.
And you travel there.
I
You
do.
step over trash every day, and you
Yeah.
step in slush. Do
You-
you do that in Newark? I'm not saying it
Heck
ain't dirty,
yes.
but definitely
yes.
New York should have been at the number 1 spot.
See,
Dante,
That's
wait,
what I'm saying.
ho, that's cap. When you used to drop me off in front of my building when I was living on 19th
you talking about
Street.
that rat that walked up to the door, knocked on the door, was like, "Yo, bro, I get around home." Yeah, that's how.
All we saying is
Bruh.
everybody got rats, but
I've
it's
been,
like-
That's facts. That's
I've been to
facts.
4 of those cities on that list, and I promise you, 3 of them were worse
Yo,
than
son,
Newark.
you got.
Thank you.
Detroit, they put Detroit at 10.
First
Which
of
was
all,
wild.
That's cap. That's cap. That one I'll give you a cap on.
shout out to the homies in Detroit. Y'all city is what it is.
Bruh, we gonna shout y'all out, but
Yeah, I know
y'all,
where
if
y'all
y'all
live.
from
Yo.
Detroit, bro, y'all know what we talking about.
We was fucked up because we went to Detroit in January last year, and we pulled up to the Airbnb we stayed in when we was in this apartment building. We were like, "Oh shit, this shit about to be bad." Luckily, the Airbnb was nice as hell, but the fucking outside, and to remind you, it was right next to a college campus, which was even crazier.
Oh wow.
I'm like, yo, Detroit ain't it, bro. Detroit ain't it, bro.
But as we talk about,
The
like,
downtown area is nice.
that's what we gonna go with. The one area. But aside from the talks of the dirtiest cities and things like that, the reason why I was bringing up like the fact that it's easy to kind of like talk about what's going on or how you're feeling or easy, because we create what we call safe space.
Mm-hmm.
So safe space is literally just the idea that you can talk to your partner without judgment. Like sometimes you might say some things that for you feel wild to say, but it's like, nah, if you say it in safe space, then it's like you don't bring it outside of safe space. I ain't never had that in my life.
Yeah, you pretty much just like take your relationship status out of it, and you look at your partner as a friend, and your friend in need, right? Like if I come to Grace and I'm like, hey, I really need to talk to somebody about what I'm feeling, it's a safe space, but I will want my partner to feel that way within me, because that way he doesn't have to seek outside judgment, because you always feel like your partner is the one that you seek approval for. So I feel like creating a safe space for him and myself, when we have those moments of like conflict, it's like, hey, we need a safe space, we need to figure this out, because I'm pissed and you're not, and we need to figure out
That's some A1 communication.
Not that. You know,
Yeah.
there's been times too where like
We should
I
take
would
a
make
shot
a
to that.
mistake.
Hold on.
Oh, what's up? What's
Cheers.
up?
Fire. That's
Communication
fire.
is
Communication.
key. Communication. Clank, 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 clank.
The more you know.
But now, like,
Nah, go ahead.
I even find myself sometimes not messing it up, but like we'll have a safe space moment as we call it, because that's what we call it. Like everybody probably has their own version of it, but we call it safe space. So it's like we could be driving to the mall. We call safe space. That means there's no judgment. You say what's on your mind, because at the end of the day, we know that we're not trying to hurt each other.
Thanks.
So it's like if she says like, oh, I really didn't like the fact that you said blah, 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 blah. Yo, to me, I didn't realize I did anything wrong. So if you don't say nothing to me, I'm going to run with it. Not in a bad way, but it's like I didn't know what I did. Mm-hmm. But if you say like, babe, safe space, I didn't like the fact that you said that to me. Yeah. Not for nothing. We had a time where we went to go see some of my family, right? And one of my cousins, they were joking around about something. And I didn't snap.
Which side of the family?
My mother's side.
The ones that be jumping off the...
Yeah, my mother's side.
Okay,
my
cool.
mother's side. The one that jump off the speakers.
Yeah.
But my cousin was joking, and instead of me taking... I can't stand
Can we
y'all.
get some gunshots?
For those that don't know, I'm Jamaican, yes. But we had a moment where my cousin, she was joking around or whatever, and I came down and I was like, yo, I hate blah, 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 blah. And Fen and my cousin was like, whoa, brother, what you, like, that's a lot. And I didn't realize, because I was in it where it was like, oh, bro, I can't believe blah, 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 blah. But when she brought it up on some safe space stuff, it was like, oh, dag, I didn't realize that I'd be doing that. But I get defensive about certain things. And we talked about it. And I realized where my defensiveness comes from, and I had to apologize for that. Not in the sense of like, oh, I did her wrong, but it was like hearing somebody say like, this is how you made me feel that you care about. Nah, bro, that joint, it hits different when you care about somebody that tells you that you did something to not necessarily piss them off, but even slightly make them a little upset. Mm-hmm. So we talk about it.
See, and it's good to hear all that, because I'm putting myself in the space to where when she says certain things to me, instead of just being like, you know my issue. If I think it's stupid, I'm just going to tell you. Like, that's stupid. That's stupid.
Marvel always dropped that one, bro.
But that don't count. I haven't called anybody stupid in 3 episodes.
Man,
I haven't.
Yeah, no, yo, world, he right. He
exactly.
Scholars,
Oh,
as we
clap
learned
it up
today.
for me.
He's a changed man for now.
Nah, but my thing was when you, and it all boils back to when you used to toxic shit.
Speak on
When someone is not truly being that, you just get so used to dealing with shit that you're like dealt with in the past that you just automatically get defensive to everything. Mm-hmm. So
Speak on it, God.
What I'm trying to do with myself now is learning that, like I said, I've never experienced anybody love me as much as she does. Bro? It's amazing. And I'm trying to understand that a lot of the times that she gets really fucking angry at me. Because you know how small people are.
Your fuck around be out of 10.
Yeah.
And you about to find out.
So instead of automatically going, all right, I can respond to this with even more anger. I'm bigger than her. She can't fuck me.
Until she start laying
Nah, but
she loves me.
That's what I tell myself.
I try to remember that and be like, you know what? Let me be calm at first. I'm not going to front. It doesn't work all the time. I'll only get mad when she continue to be at 10 if I'm responding to her with like 3. Like, babe.
But what's your 3?
My 3?
It might be her 10.
All right, so if she's already on 10, my 3 to me is like, I get it, but you ain't got to yell. Like, that's my 3.
Okay. Are you saying it with that tone?
No.
Okay. that's
why we need the realness,
yeah,
Grace.
like, thanks, Grace.
But at the same time, in my head, that's why I feel like I'm sounding like it. Mm-hmm. And she'll be like, oh, then you coming off strong or you wilding. And then because I'm big, but I'm a very, I don't want to say soft. That sounds like very demeaning to myself. But
you're a gentle
giant. I'm a gentle giant.
Mm-hmm.
Soft. 2 T's.
But at the same time, when there is some type of animosity brewing, I don't realize that I could really be like, like she's seen it towards other people where I've really got like really bad. And that's why I've tried my hardest not to go there with anybody, because once I'm at that level of, I'm a excuse my language, I don't want to get myself in trouble. Like, once I'm at that level, like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
It's red,
You
Tom.
know that
We
now.
don't support DV. Though.
No.
No. Not against her.
Not against
He's saying,
women.
like, in general.
Oh.
Not
that
against women.
My
that
bad,
it could
y'all.
get
I read the
there.
room. wrong.
He was not reading the room.
Blink twice. You better tell him I ain't doing that shit. Nah,
Let me formally apologize, y'all. That's not what he was talking
That's
about.
not what I'm talking about. But at the same time, it's anger is anger.
Yeah.
So if it's a guy, if I get that level, cool, I can put hands on you. Now, I shouldn't, but sometimes it happens.
If it happens,
There's
it
drivers
happens.
that
Exactly.
involved.
But with your woman, you know you're not going to be able to handle that situation the same way. So it's like, yo, it's even more anger that comes out of it because I'm not going to ever put my hands on her. So it's like, all right, now I'm at that point. I lose myself sometimes and I just start wilding, and then I got to come and relax a little bit. And then I end up fucking crying or apologizing to her because I know that I shouldn't be there. And then once I get there and I come down, then I explain to her exactly each situation. And I talk a lot.
Yeah.
No.
we fucking started a podcast.
I didn't mean it like that. I'm like, yeah.
But at the same time, I know sometimes she just be thinking like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But she'll,
Yeah.
but she'll listen to it, and then she'll end up apologizing. And I'll tell her, I'm like, don't apologize. Especially like you said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Now, most of the time I do think I'm right, but at the same time, like, if I'm wrong, I'll never hold on to something that I know that was completely my fault, because it's not right to do that. Yeah. And I would hate for anybody to do that shit to me. But at the same time, I have to learn that a lot of the things that she gets upset about is not because, like, I'm out here truly fucking up. Is that she expects so much more from me, and she knows I can do a whole lot better than in situations that I'm doing, like anything that I'm doing. So I try to give her the benefit of the doubt even when sometimes I think she be wilding for no reason. But at the same time, I do understand that it comes from a place of love and not from a place of fuck you, like get out my face type shit. So.
Yeah.
No, we appreciate the open and honest dialogue.
Grace.
You know what I mean?
Well,
I haven't heard your voice.
well, I mean, when I get angry, I'm just quiet. Like, it takes some time for me to process everything.
And that's another
You learning that?
Yeah.
That's another thing I have to accept, because I hate that shit. If you
'Cause
got
you're
something in
a
your
talker.
mind, speak it. But because my thing was, Dante's
It's
been
like now.
But
She hasn't even finished her statement, but you're a talker, so you're not a
I
good
mean, he
listener.
could go ahead.
This is one of those times she's like, no, go ahead, do your thing.
Do your thing.
Because I do that at times, because like she said, she's more quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's learned behavior. When we usually speak on things, she usually go quiet. So I've learned to just cut in, and it's not good. And I'm happy you called me out on it, because that's something that I know that I need to ultimately stop doing. But my thing is an issue of mine, and it's also not an issue. I want to get to the point. Like, let's not beat around the bush on things. If something happened, don't live in the world where I'm supposed to just figure it out.
Yeah, but it's not a race, it's a marathon. You gotta
Right.
be able to take your breaks and figure out where she is. And if and I can't speak for you, and I'm just like listening to what you guys are saying. It sometimes feels like, sometimes when Grace is shutting down, she needs to like recoup her thoughts, and you have your thoughts ready to go because you're quick and you're an educated brother. So you're ready, and you're already ready with your notes. It's like she needs time to just like, let me get there. Like, let me tell you how I feel, because I can't do that under pressure.
Yeah, and I'm learning that. I'm not perfect at it. I'm learning it. I don't think the disagreements we've had of late or anything like the disagreements we were having before, simply because I had to come to realization that it's not good to constantly keep getting to that point if you know ultimately this is where you want to be.
Yeah.
I know that she's home for me. And she moved in with me really fast, and people were like, "You sure?" I'd never been more sure about anything, because when you are used to people not truly having your back and putting you through the runaround, you know when somebody truly has it. Like, I've never said this about anybody in my life. I'm sorry, D. I've never said this about anybody in my life.
And we partners.
I trust her 1,000%.
I only got 1%, y'all.
Like Dante probably got like 99.9.
I ain't got the 1,000 though.
But I
You
trust.
almost made it.
Almost. I was right there. I was right there.
Gonna be quick enough. No, but I'm not saying it because we being recorded. I mean that shit, and I tell her that, and I'm like, I don't question anything you do because I know you got me. Sometimes I get upset because I just be wanting her to feel the same way, and I know it's hard at times, especially when you carry yourself differently, and when people are not used to certain things. But and just like we were going to allude to anyway, relationships in our fucking generation are majority like trash.
It's just.
And I'm
You don't
glad
gotta say majority. It's just trash.
because I'm glad you brought that up because I honestly want to know how. I mean, I know how I feel, but I want to ask y'all how y'all feel. You included, Sean. How do y'all feel about love, like in general? Like, how do y'all feel about it? Not what society tells y'all to feel, but in terms of the word, the feeling, the emotion, the feeling that you get from that other person. What does love mean?
Let's go
for
around the
y'all?
table. I want Grace to start.
Because I was gonna say that too. I'm sorry.
No, you can start.
No, go ahead.
No.
The
We
floor
gonna go like
is yours.
this.
You're a guest.
It's a circle. It's a circle.
It's a circle. Go ahead.
You go.
Listen, all right. Since
So we gonna go like this?
Yeah. I thought I knew what love truly was circa 2018. I'll let Dante do the math on why I said 2018. Maybe he won't get it, maybe he will. Until some real shit happened, and then I put myself in a really... I had to learn that too, because I used to blame that person for a lot of the things that happened, but I had to understand that a lot of the shit that we were going through, I could have easily took myself out of it and was given opportunities to take myself out of it, but here I was singing, oh my God, I'm in love. You gotta fight for it. And I learned that that same emotion that you have to be able to understand with yourself to how to put it into the right places, in the right spaces. So I'm still learning what that word means because for me, it's all been different. Like I said, this is a different type of love. Like, if someone told me right now, like, hey, the bank's gonna try to steal your money, you gotta get rid of all of everything you own. Without question, I'll hand it all over to her.
Would you do that?
Like
all? Like 99%.
I just wanted to make sure.
But my thing
I don't
is,
care about that. Just my phone. Let's go ahead and vibrate anyway. Leave it down there.
But my thing is with that, like I said, it's different. And I'm learning myself. I'm learning what this new type of love is because I've never experienced this. And it's hard sometimes because there are times where I'm like, it's a little bit too much. But then I have to catch myself because I kind of manifested this. I used to sit in my room by myself.
Careful what you ask for, bro.
I
You just might get it, son.
I used to sit in my room by myself, literally, I'm not kidding, and just talk to myself sometimes. Like, yo, like, the fuck am I out here doing? Like, what am I doing wrong? I need somebody who's going to come and have my back no matter what, even when they're fucking pissed off at me. Like, they want to curse me out, but still, like, come
Make sure
here.
your order
Like,
right.
yeah, like,
Make sure your order right.
yeah, dead ass. Like, and I have that. Like, and that shit, like, literally, I'm not kidding, from day one, like, I'm like, shit, this is real. Like, I'm hitting her up, like, oh shit.
Like, oh nah, son, this is a different one. I was like, you sure? Oh nah, this one different. I was like,
Because
hey.
it legit came out of nowhere. Like, we were working together for a minute, and immediately I thought she was cute, but Grace, like, as y'all can see, Grace is quiet. She don't speak.
Grace was like, you like me?
So my thing was, once we started getting, like, I kind of, like, pushed my way up in there. Like, hey.
He big time strong arm, y'all. Don't let him.
I used to walk into
Shoulders
her
don't
office.
never relax.
I used to walk into her office and just, like, say stupid shit. Like, I make white jokes. I just say dumb shit.
No. You make white jokes?
Like, nah, my jokes are hilarious. But, so, like I said, I'm getting off topic. I'm still learning what the true meaning of that word is for me, simply because this is a new experience. And I'm actually really excited because I thought that I did know what it was. and God was like, nah, no, you don't.
He's like, you think you might know the idea of it, but you don't know what it really is. But let me bless you with something real quick.
Ooh.
Bless. Preach. Now, if we going down the line, like, I'm going to just keep it short, sweet, and to the point. Fen knows this already. When it comes to, like, the word love, bruh, I don't play around with that word. When I say it, I mean it. I mean that shit to the point where it's like, because I don't believe in divorce. Because me personally, if you can get in front of your people, however many people at your wedding or whatever, and you say things like, these are my vows, I vow to honor you and cherish and all these things, and then you turn around.
Are we doing this?
No, we're not.
Okay.
Because we could.
Look me in the eye. I
We
was
could.
scared. I
It's
got
happening.
nervous.
Because I'm talking to you.
Hold up. We're about to go viral. Bravery is happening.
Start shaking the camera. But nah, real talk. Like, I thought, to your point, like, you thought you knew what love was, but in my head, I always knew what it was. I just never found what, in my mind, it should have been. I don't need perfect, because perfect doesn't exist.
It does not.
I don't need it to be, I'm always right, because I'm more times than not, I'm wrong about something. I don't need to always be the voice of reason. It doesn't have to always be me. But what I've learned is, when it comes to the concept of love, it's how overall you want it to work. So where I was going with the idea of divorce, people who get married and get divorced, this is a personal opinion. Y'all do not have to agree with it, but I personally feel like those individuals were not in love. Unless there was something, an extenuating circumstance, DV, we talking cheating, all of that stuff. But if y'all are just not seeing eye to eye and y'all are like, yeah, we just been unhappy, y'all were never in love. Because personally speaking, if you get in front of God and say, I want to marry you, I love you, how can you then turn around and say, I don't love you no more?
I'm happy you broke
I
one
want
of
to
them.
take all those things from you. We going to do half and all. Bruh, because to me personally, if y'all are upset about something, y'all can work on it. Because if y'all were happy to the point to get married, y'all can get back to that.
I don't believe that though.
That's
And you
fine.
Know that. And you know
I know,
that.
we talk about it all the time.
But before you finish and you get to your point, I have one question, and I want everybody to answer.
No.
It's funny because I think you know what I'm about to ask. Do you think you can be in love with somebody and cheat on them?
No.
No.
Collectively, we all agree.
Yeah, no.
Everyone agrees with that.
Absolutely
No.
not.
Comment over that. Nah, but go ahead.
I believe you could be in really a lot.
I like you a lot.
But nah, that's just my opinion on things. But we gonna pass it over to the left.
Oh God. Okay.
Because you disagreed with my opinion about divorce and things like that. So I want the people to know. I want the people to know.
As you guys said in 2008, and then for yourself and your past relationship previous to us, you guys thought you were in love, and you possibly could have married that girl. That does not mean that she wasn't the right person. Y'all was gonna end up in divorce regardless, because I'm here.
Oh.
But
boom.
but no. But what I'm saying is there are people that
that is
get into
hilarious.
relationships.
That's so funny. I'm sorry.
But there are people that get into these places where they think that they are in love because our previous relationships, that's what we thought we wanted, until other circumstances was like, this ain't it. And unlike myself, I'm one of those people that will paint a red flag green and be like,
No.
that's what caring people do, because that's what they do, right? But of course, sometimes you just have to sit down and think to yourself. So for me, love means like, and all of my friends and my family know this about me, I'm a big person. I don't tell people I love them, even if they're my closest friends. If I do not love you, I don't love you.
It's a big word.
No, for me, like, I don't even use it with friends. Hey, like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't do that
love
either.
you.
That just shocked me that she agreed, because that's another thing. That just makes me feel like I'm more loved, because she says it to
Yeah.
me so much.
Yeah, and like,
You should feel loved then. You're a jerk.
Because I feel like if I tell
Big
somebody,
dummy.
like if I tell somebody I love them, I'm willing to live for them and I'm willing to die for them at that point in time, like at any circumstance, no matter what. And that's what love means for me. No matter if it's hard, if it's painful, if it's easy, no matter what, you can always count on me. You call this phone, if I tell you I love you, I'm here.
But see, that's why I thought I knew what it was, because I've never experienced nobody. It's like you said, paint red flags green. Yeah, you said
Yeah.
that red flags green. Yeah, there's a possibility, but I also believe that it wouldn't have happened that way, because in order for anybody to get married, you got to make that step. For me personally, prior to, that wasn't going to happen regardless. And I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, Sean knows wholeheartedly it probably would not have happened, only because I would have had to be the one that was happy enough to do it.
We were both artists. I'll say that. We was painting the fuck out those flags.
Okay, it was cute, right?
We
They
just
were
in there
okay.
like sipping paint all day.
Nah, deadass. Because as you were saying some of the things you were just saying, I was thinking about some of the shit, and I'm like, yeah.
That's why when she was
And
like,
I-
yo, you would have been, I'm like,
And I know for
No,
a fact,
I mean-
Dante could look at me and be like, yeah, you was bugging, bro.
bruh.
That didn't make sense.
Listen, y'all, we happy now. We ain't gonna talk about the dark times, but just understand myself and Sean, whoo, there have been some dark days.
But this,
Grace, you're not off the hook. I had to answer.
I mean, I
And then we
agree.
gonna pass
I
it
agree
over.
with everything that you guys said.
I
Yo,
agree.
that's like when you have the group project and they're like, Grace, what do you have to say?
Nah.
What they all said. I'm good.
Grace just here so she don't get fined.
I'm just here. So
Y'all know why I'm here. I'm here so I do not.
I see what you.
Nah, but so what was I getting at? Because
We got a couple minutes left, and it is
Yeah.
something that I wanted to touch on real quick
Bring it
before
up.
we get on up out of here. And it has something to do with the show we was talking about
Okay.
prior to the cameras actually starting.
Uh-huh.
All of us here have watched Love is Blind,
Yes.
correct?
I don't remember it though.
But see, where I want to go with
in,
this
in
is...
Grace's defense, she'll watch something really like it and then forget it like 2 seconds.
Well, see, that's because you probably binge like mad shows,
Yeah.
and like it just start to like...
and you start blending together and shit.
I had a conversation with my peoples at work, and they were saying, because you know Love is Blind is the premise, like you there for like 2 weeks or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
and I told them straight up, like I can't fall in love in 2-3 weeks. So when they say like, oh, the show, the reason why I personally feel like that show Love is Blind gets so much good views is because the idea of love is great, but think about it. You only known this person for like 2 or 3 weeks, and we was actively watching the most recent episode where it was like, yo, if y'all would have known each other longer, these things wouldn't even happen.
But
But
there's
where
a
I'm
reason
going-
why none of them really stay together.
No, but
True.
if you want to be real, the reason why none of them stay together is because the show is designed for them to not stay together.
Yeah.
Hear me out, because if we all in the same room, right?
Uh-huh.
I can't see nothing past that wall. I can only hear a voice.
Yeah.
And that's the same voice that I like to hear for 3-4 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Of course I'm gonna fall in love with the idea of the person. And then you actually see the person and the psychology kicks in and it's like, oh, we had great conversations, but now the realism is kicking in. And we can't keep that same pod life in the real world.
But what y'all missing is that everybody is shallow. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah.
I'm
Speak
sorry.
on it, God.
And
You
it's
You think
the truth.
everybody is shallow?
Everyone is shallow. I don't care.
Every
if
single person.
Every
From a
single
man
person.
to a man, if you see a woman, I ain't gonna throw you under that bus. But
no,
if,
throw
let's
me
say,
under.
Go ahead.
let's
Prove
say
your
you,
point. Throw
let's
me
say
under.
you was single.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Let's say you was single.
Okay.
You don't know this woman from a can of paint. First thing you're gonna do is be like, oh, dag, she look good. That's vain, and that's exactly her point. We gonna see something and go, damn, I want that, and then you start to learn who the person is. But go ahead.
No, not even necessarily. It's like I'm trying to make sure that I'm like politically
She
correct.
want to be politically correct. So
I'm just gonna
bad.
be honest.
Just say it.
I'm not a person.
Be
I
real.
like I've dated interracial and I've dated all types of men, small, short, tall, skinny. I have my preference and it's who I like. And that's just that. And if I'm talking to someone across a wall and I see a different person, it's a no-go for me. I don't care. And that's honesty. Like, it's a no-go. But I think that the show is what pushes them to be like, let me see what this person's
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Because once they see each other, you know immediately from the show, you'd be like,
Yo, we be watching that shit, calling it like, yo,
nah,
they ain't gonna last. They ain't about to last. They not gonna.
Because it's always like the guy would be like shocked, like, oh.
That's what makes that
It's
show.
like, yo,
That's what makes that show
The
good.
dude Batiste, bro. The moment he walked out the door, we was like,
He was
this
like,
shit ain't
it was
gonna
over.
last. We was like, this not gonna last.
It's funny because he's on the Perfect Match, and Perfect Match is really good.
Yeah, it is.
Now we wanted to watch that because they have that like actually like competitions and stuff.
Yeah,
it's not
but
just like
it's
dating.
just
It's,
it's just as dumb.
oh, right.
Oh,
great.
We
Say-
what we call that, smut TV? Yeah.
Because there's this one dude. What's the dude name? The big black dude with the tattoos. Dom. Dom's on that show, and when you just said Dom falls in love like
Day one.
day
Easily.
one.
But that's how he was on the show.
And
too.
he's still like that. Dom was up there like, I love you. And now he's in another relationship.
But see, that's my
And
thing,
he already
bruh.
asked the second girl to be his girlfriend. Spoilers, I don't care.
Yo, I don't care neither. Like
But-
those those are the habitual like love steppers.
But-
That's the individuals where I'm talking about like I cherish that word. It's
Mm-hmm.
because there's so many people. Yo, you meet somebody for a week and it's like, yo, I love you.
But you also have
you
to
love
remember-
the idea of the person. You still don't even know them all the
But
way.
you also have to remember they young as hell on them shows.
Yo, first of all, they young
What's
and
young?
dumb.
No, because
Cause ain't some of them like almost 30?
No.
No,
A
like
majority.
Yeah, bro,
a
because
ma-
they be getting up there like,
a
yo,
majority-
I've been trying to find love my whole life. They be
Because-
like 27,
yes.
just started dating. I had my heart broke one time, and I've been dating for forever. I'm gonna use Love Is Blind.
Facts. A majority of them got on the shows they were originally on when they were in their early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're in their mid, almost late 20s. It was only like 2 people up there that were past
Like
30,
30.
and they were off the show immediately because they know that shit ain't real.
Mm-hmm.
So like the one girl from Selling Tampa was up there like, I'm looking for somebody I can settle down with and get married. And your guy, Bartiz,
Yeah.
immediately was like,
Is she-
nah.
Yeah.
Immediately he was like, nah. She was like, word. And that was the only dude that she was interested in. She went home night one. She's like, man, I ain't staying here. This is bullshit.
I know who I want. They don't want me.
She didn't even bother to go talk to anybody else because she knew that if
What
he
the
was
show
on
was
that,
for,
yeah,
yeah.
if he was on that type of shit, everybody was gonna be on that type of shit. And she was like, you know what, I'm leaving. Those shows are like you said, they built to be like that. And my point being is why I said it's so young because I'm not going front. I used to be like that. But when I know that when I used to do shit like that, it wasn't on no bullshit like, oh man, like she looks good, like I just want her because she her body is nice. No, I had to learn as you grow up and going through shit that I was allowing shit that was happening at home, and I was projecting the shit that I was dealing with onto my relationships, and I was truly sitting there thinking like, damn, I'm in love with this person, not realizing no. I just needed somebody to keep my mind off the
You was
nonsense I
in deep
going
like
through.
with that person. That's what the
Yeah.
fuck that was.
But
Not
they-
even.
they-
I don't even think that.
they
It's
just-
because I think me and Sean have a similar background, and it's different. Like you just.
Nah, that's deep like.
I wouldn't say it's a deep like because it's more of a infatuation because of
Let's
that
go with
person
that.
because that person is giving you something that you're not getting.
But think
Exactly.
about it.
So
The people
it's more
that
of a, it's a different type of feeling.
this whole table has probably said the L word before. They probably said that they love somebody before. Now the reason why I bring that up is because think about that same person that you last said it to before. We are where we are. Do you really think y'all could say yes or no? Do y'all really think that y'all were in love the way that y'all feel now?
There's a difference.
That's not what I asked.
That's okay.
I asked, do you feel? And you can tell me no. Like it is what it is. Me personally, the idea of what love means, looking out for a person, being patient with a person, caring about that person, good, bad, indifferent, I'm feeling that now. So that's why she knows this. I've said before that I don't think I've ever been in actual love because this is what I thought it should feel like.
Okay.
Granted, my thought process could be whatever. But for me, love means patience, kindness, taking that person into consideration, loving that person, good, bad, or indifferent. And I experience that now. So for me personally, I can say I thought I was in love.
See, but
That's crazy because you're taking away from your relationship, and that's not fair to her.
But
And I don't even know that girl.
the thing about it is,
and she just tried to ether that girl.
Seriously, she did though.
the thing that it boils down to is what it boils down to is the way that we are. I've never experienced this before, so I hear what you're saying. But me personally, the way that I viewed it, I painted the red flags green, and that's why I made it as far as I did.
But it
with the
doesn't
other
make the
person.
love not
Yeah,
real.
you have to understand.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't all the way agree.
You
And that's
have,
your opinion.
I know.
You have to understand that everyone's going to deal with shit differently.
Absolutely.
Now I hear what you're saying, and I hear you. Like I truly do.
Do you
but
agree?
no,
Okay.
simply because, like I said, am I in love with any of my ex-girlfriends? Fuck no.
So then, how can you say you was in love before?
Because love doesn't necessarily mean in love. You can love somebody without being in love with
Absolutely.
love means that you got love for the person no matter what. Because the word itself means a deep infatuation,
Yeah,
right?
like-
So if you say that you love
But
them,
don't
you
put your
can't.
past traumas on us.
No. I'm being real. How can you fall out of love if you was in love? Because my thought process
There's a
is
difference in the way that you love.
But see, my thing is, if you're in love with somebody, how do you fall out if you were in love?
Life happens. Sometimes you
because
have
now
to.
you have more education.
But why do you have to if you were in love?
Because you truly can't continue to love somebody.
So then, how did you really love that person if you can fall out of love? That's my thought process.
Because there are certain circumstances that happened that made you fall out of love.
So
with that
then,
person.
how are you in love if it's so easy to fall out of it?
Because I could love a family member to death, and they can cross me, and there is no longer love, but there will always be a family tie. That does not mean that...
So there will always be some level of love because you would show... Why not?
Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, you can get hit by a bus. I'm going to still go to your funeral because my mother did.
Because there's love there.
But there's no love there.
So then why
there's
would you
a
go to the
family
funeral?
tie there.
That there's love. Family means
But see,
there's love in family.
And that's great. Because you equivalate relationships with love. And I don't do that. Like, I could love my friends. And I have friends that I no longer am friends with. But... at the end of the day, I still respect them as a person because our past is our past. I ain't gonna bring that into my future.
So therefore, you still got some kind of love for them. If you show them some respect, you respect them, but you don't care about them?
Absolutely not.
So then how do you respect them?
Because they are a living being. And that's between them and God.
If you breathe, I respect it.
That's what I'm saying.
I respect you until you disrespect me, and then now we got a problem.
But see, then...
And
I look at it differently. That's all it is.
I'm
That's all it is.
I'm happy that everyone feels a little bit indifferent because the truth is there is no one real true meaning to it.
Absolutely.
And I'm happy we're able to circle around to that, which we said last week. We always end up getting back.
Everything is a circle, bro. We always do it every episode, bro.
But because like I said, like I'll never fix my lips to sit up here and say, I'm not just saying it because Big Pooh is sitting right here with a hand on the table about to slap me in my head. Nah, I'm not doing that. I would never fix my lips to say I'm still in love with any of my exes. But do I wish they got hit by a bus or anything like that? No.
Right.
But at the same time, I can separate myself from it and be like, you know what? I learned from this situation.
Yes.
And every time you go through shit, your love is different. My love for her is different. And I said this to her before. Sometimes I wish I didn't go through what I went through because I feel like the things that I did in my past, she would deserve it.
Yeah.
But I went through it. I can't change that I went through it.
Agreed.
So the only thing I can do is make sure that I'm keeping it real with myself, that those things are happening in my head so I can make sure I'm putting her in the best position possible.
Absolutely.
Do I always do it? Absolutely not. But I try my absolute hardest to make sure that she knows that I got her. And that's all you can really do.
Yeah.
That's all you can really do.
Agreed. All right, y'all. Well, it's been real as it always is.
It's been real soft. That's what it's been.
I mean, hey,
We didn't even play any games. I thought this was going to be like games.
Nah, y'all didn't need those. Y'all was fine. Y'all
Maybe on the next time y'all come back.
If y'all want to, absolutely.
Big Pooh gonna speak next time.
But now that we got a new name for y'all, Scholars, we hope that y'all pull up another time.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Fen with the new nickname. We're going to give her that credit, y'all. Feel me? But yes, the topics today, talking about love, the way that we view it, the way that we look at the world, the way that we look at other stuff. We don't always agree with stuff, but at the end of the day, we one big ass family, y'all.
Yes, sir.
So from myself, from Sean, from Fen, from Grace.
No talent beats. Play us out.
Play us out, brother.
No talent beats.